Okay, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are. This is Moshe Goldberg from Brit Olam. We're starting a little bit late today because we just had a nationwide siren bringing in the National Memorial Day. That's tomorrow, is National Memorial Day, Yom HaZikaron, for the fallen in Israel's wars and those killed by terrorists. The next day is Yom Ha'atzmaut, Independence Day, Israel Independence Day. We're happy to be here. We're in the middle of Jerusalem. Traffic is piled up, and there are all sorts of events going on. So we may have a little bit of trouble with traffic, but we're going to start tonight, and we'll see how things go. I have one or two announcements first. First of all, I spoke last time, in the last session, about the book by Avraham Livni. Here I have it as a... This book has just been published, Avraham Livni, The Return of Israel. The Return of Israel and the Hope of the World. The message of the book is that the return of Israel is not something that happened for Israel. It is something that is the hope of the entire world. And he explains this very well, and it's a fascinating book. And when I started reading it many years ago in the Hebrew version that Rav Sharkey put out, I couldn't put it down. And I expect it'll be the same thing for people who pick this up in English. As I said at our last session, on our website and on the Facebook, you can see how to order this book. I recommend ordering it. Anybody who will be in Jerusalem next Monday night is invited to a talk that I will be giving, sort of a launch of the English version of the book. It's on our Facebook and it's on the website. So if anybody will be in Jerusalem next Monday night, you're certainly invited to come to my talk. I think it will be interesting to hear what's going on, and I would like to meet people who would like to see the book. Okay, so that's one thing. The next session that we have scheduled is 4 weeks from today. I think I have the date here. 4 weeks from tonight, it's the 12th of May. It's 3 or 4 days before the holiday of Shavuot. First of all, we have scheduled 2 speakers tonight. The second one, Yochanan Castellanos, who has been here before. I hope he will make it. There's a lot of traffic because of the night of the holiday. But the first speaker, she's here now, Ra'aya Devorah, or Janine Blackman. She was born and raised in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. While at college in the United States, she was able to ask her questions, serious questions about life and so on, and make an informed spiritual decision. After college, she started exploring her long-term options through Noahide and Jewish websites. She had nobody to speak to or to get together with live, but for that she had the internet. I think this is one of the reasons that the internet was invented, for cases like this and for learning Judaism and spiritual things. Ra'aya moved to Israel in 2011. She's in the process of not staying a Bat Noach, but converting to Judaism. And okay, I'm sorry. She's finished the process. Okay. So the blurb I have here is out of date. Be very happy to hear what Ra'aya has to say.
Hello everyone. My name is Janine Blackman or Ra'aya Devorah. I have already converted since last year, and I'm here to tell you my story. I want to apologize in advance because my nose is running, so I will need to blow my nose from time to time. As Mr. Goldberg said, my name is Janine Blackman Ra'aya Devorah. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, and I was raised like a Seventh-day Adventist. That is, I kept Shabbat and holy days, Jewish holy days, but of course in a Christian context. From about the age of 15 years old, I questioned the validity of Christianity after reading a book. And unfortunately, there were no objective Christian persons around or Jewish persons around in my circles to ask my questions of. So as a result, I stayed in it because it is what I knew, and it was my connection to God at the time. Some of the questions I had, for instance, were since Protestantism came out of Catholicism, which has some obvious symbols of paganism. For instance, bunnies and eggs, fertility symbols from ancient Roman times that have absolutely nothing to do with, say, somebody dying on a cross. Christians about other pagan symbols in Christianity. Okay. I attended college in the USA, and there I was able to get my questions answered from Jewish sources, and I was able then to be able to make an informed decision. And from that time on, I became a Noahide. However, I did double check certain things with a pastor, with two pastors actually, just to make sure I was really making the right decision. And because of their answers, it was further reinforced to me that Judaism is based on truth and Christianity is the opposite. Hence, I started my learning of Judaism, and as I said, I became a Noahide from that time on. After college, I returned to Trinidad and Tobago, and I had to really seriously decide what I was going to do because there was no local Noahide community, and there was neither a religious Jewish community. There is a Jewish community, but it's not religious, unfortunately. And so I learned online, and I met some lovely Noahides and Jews online. But even though they were my virtually, spiritually like-minded social community, it wasn't enough, and it would not be enough in the long term. Hence, basically, for long term, I needed to have a physical community and not just a virtual community. So I decided I was going to come to Israel and convert. I came in 2011. I became Jewish in 2012. And I'm in the process of making Aliyah. That is becoming a citizen of the State of Israel. From approximately late 2006 to 2012, I was a Noahide. From being a Noahide and from the experiences of other Noahides, I'm aware of the community challenges, and it is my dream and goal to help build Noahide communities, connect Noahides with each other, especially when they live near each other or relatively near each other, encourage Jewish community support and learning opportunities, such as classes for Noahides, and B'ezras Hashem, eventually be able to build a Noahide school or schools in a Noahide community or communities. At this time, I would like to invite you to share your stories, and if you have any questions, feel free to answer. And if you want, I could share my email address. I know some Noahides around the world, so if you want to share the area where you live, I could try to connect you with other people in your area. And for those of you who are looking for someone to date, I may have some recommendations.
You want to tell them your email, or you want to put it
Sure.
on the website?
I could type it in.
Sorry, where are you typing it?
In the chat box. So it's Janine Blackman at gmail.com, Janine Blackman at gmail.com.
Can you tell me something about your experience as a Noahide, how, and the transfer from Noahide to Judaism, how it came about, what brought you to do that?
Basically, it was the long-term options. In terms of long-term thinking, I wanted something that would work long-term, growth-wise as well, and at the time I wasn't satisfied with what was being shared with Noahide, and that I wanted deeper knowledge, I wanted a deeper revelation of God. I wanted to know the oral Torah more, and that was one of my motivations for what I did. As a Noahide, I was not going to be understood in Trinidad. I tried to make myself understood, and I know it's difficult. It's not something that people are really aware of in the world, but B'ezras Hashem, slowly but surely, it's becoming more known.
Okay, see, Bob Wells has asked a similar question. He says, how would a person decide to convert versus remain a Noahide? Do you have any general advice that you can give?
I think it depends on the person and where they are. I know for myself in Trinidad, I could not remain there. Whether as a Noahide or as a Jew, I had to make a move one way or the other. Either to move to another Noahide community somewhere in the world, or become Jewish and join a Jewish community. And I chose the Jewish community. It depends on the person and what they see themselves doing, and their goals and their drive, and what they want.
Okay, and how have you found, I'm interested in the conversion process once you came here. How did you get into that? And did you have any problems with that? The honest truth is my wife teaches converts.
Okay.
Has been doing it for about 20 years.
Okay.
We've gone through several different processes. There have been times when it's harder and times when it has gotten
Yeah,
easier.
it could be hard.
How long did it take you? Were you in what's called an ulpan, a class, or did
Yeah.
you do it?
I was attending classes. I was in the Gush, actually, in Gush Etzion, in a midrasha, in a conversion program.
Okay, in what language?
English.
They have a regular conversion program in English? Okay. Did you, how does the class go? Is it just a class, or you also did?
It's different classes, be it Humash, Halakha, Pasha Shavua, anything, women in Halakha, all the relevant things.
And now you live in Jerusalem.
Yes.
And how do you find that?
I love being near the Kotel, so I love being in Jerusalem.
Okay, as I say, I thank Ra'aya for her talk here. I would like to check what's going on with the traffic, and then bear with me for a few minutes, and we'll see how far Yochanan is. We'll see if we can wait for him or something. Hold on a minute. I said something before. Maybe we should just say a few words about that, because it's an interesting phenomenon. There are many things in Judaism that have the same phenomenon that is going on today and tomorrow. And there are a lot of big arguments about it in Israel and among the Jewish people. What I'm talking about is a phenomenon that we do back to back. We go straight from remembering memories that are not that good to celebrations. Okay, so we have, should we really have Memorial Day followed immediately the next day by Yom Ha'atzmaut, by Independence Day? Is that a good idea, or should we separate the several things? And I'm saying that there have been, for many years, have been discussions. So far, this is the way we do it. For example, there are other things in Judaism that do the same thing. Purim is a celebration of a victory over Haman and a time when the Jews were saved. The day before Purim, usually, except for special cases, the day before Purim is Tanit Esther, is a fast day, which commemorates the way that Esther worked to help save the Jews. So that's another case for several thousand years, where we celebrate a big celebration, Purim, but the day before is a fast day, is a day of memory, or is a serious day. If you look at a Jewish wedding, one of the important elements of any Jewish wedding today is breaking the glass, is remembering the Beit HaMikdash, remembering the temple and the destruction of the temple. So it seems to be typical in Judaism that we don't go all out to celebrate. We always try to remember people who had problems and take them into account too. So that's the way we do it. We're learning now that Jerusalem is not just a holy city, it's also a real town and a real city. And when there are celebrations going on, or when there are ceremonies going on all around town, you can get caught in traffic, and that's what's holding up Yochanan. I'm going to stop now for a few minutes. He should be here in a few minutes, and then we'll be able to continue the broadcast live and recording.